If you were to find yourself in an active assailant situation, what would you do? You must rely on your training to act, avoid, confine, take down. Watch the following scenario carefully, and then we'll debrief going over what to do and what not to.
How many miles? I mean, $1,200 for what?
No, I know, so expensive.
Morning. Hey, morning. She seemed a little off.
Yeah, something's off.
Hey, can I talk to you for a second?
Of course, come on in. What's on your mind?
I don't know if this is anything to be concerned about, but I could have sworn I just saw Jenna's ex-husband sitting in a car in the employee lot. He looked angry.
Okay, that's odd. I know about a month ago when she was working here, she put a protective order out against him. So you sure you saw him?
That was definitely him. I recognized his face from that time he came in here screaming at her.
Okay, so we need to call reception and let them know to lock the main doors. And I'm gonna call public safety and let them know what's going on.
That's coming from inside the building. We have to act now. Our rally point is across the street at the store. Keep your hands free in case the police are on their way. What are you doing? You have to go. We have to act now.
We just heard 2 gunshots on the second floor hallway. Can you send over somebody here now? We have to act now.
Okay, move the desk.
To stay quiet, I'm going to text 911 and let them know what's going on. You need to send out a massive notification to all your colleagues to stay safe.
That sounded like gunfire.
What do we do? It sounds like it's in the hallway.
Well, we can't just sit here. We gotta do something.
I'm scared.
I'm scared too, but we gotta remember our training. We gotta act. Grab something.
The scenario you just watched may have been a little frightening, but in today's climate, it is necessary for us as public safety leaders to make sure we are preparing our colleagues for an active assailant event in the most realistic way possible. We're going to conduct a step-by-step debrief, but before we do that, I want to provide you with some statistics and information on active assailant attacks, who they are, why they attack, and how your response matters. While there are a lot of variables which make it difficult to identify them before they attack, there are some commonalities you should be aware of.
A 2023 report by the United States Secret Service National Threat Assessment Center on mass attacks revealed the following information. 96% of active assailants are male. 51% of active assailants were motivated by a perceived grievance. 93% of attackers experienced at least one significant stressor within 5 years of the attack, and 77% of those stressors happened within a year of the attack. 66% of attackers exhibited threatening or concerning communications both online and offline, including verbal statements, journals, videos, and postings. 64% of attackers had a criminal history.
70% of active assailant attacks are over in 5 minutes or less. The average police response time to the scene varies from 5 to 10 minutes. This means you are more likely to endure the majority of the attack prior to police arrival. Most active assailants will continue the violence until they are met with resistance. This could be by police or it could be by a citizen intervention. Calling or texting 911 immediately will shave seconds off of the response time. Do not assume someone else is called. In an active shooter event, seconds save lives.
Always pay attention to your surroundings. In the video, the female employee was alert and scanning the parking lot as she walked in. She noticed the ex-employee because she was paying attention. She also made sure to pull the door closed behind her, whereas the male employee stayed on his phone, was not paying attention, and allowed someone to piggyback behind him into the building. If you see something that doesn't look or feel right, don't ignore it, tell someone. There's no harm in reporting something that turns out to be nothing, but what if it is something? Being situationally aware and being informative can save lives.
Once you make the decision to leave, do it immediately. Leave the area and get as far away from the violence as you can. If you encounter responding law enforcement, remember to keep your hands free and visible so law enforcement can see that you are not a threat. Never go back inside the building for personal belongings. Be prepared, not everyone will be able to act. Some people may freeze. You can try to coax them the best you can, but if your safety is at risk, you need to think about yourself.
If you cannot avoid, you may have to confine in place. Shut and lock the door and use furniture to block and reinforce it. Pay attention to which way the door swings and use a belt or cord to secure the door handles or hinges to prevent it from opening. Stay away from the door and spread out in the room. Don't make an easy target. Turn all lights out and make the space look unoccupied. Keep quiet and put cell phones on silent. Text to 911 and provide as much information as you can. Continue to plan. Be ready in case the active assailant is able to force their way in. What can you use to defend yourself?
As a last resort, you may have to fight. Try to anticipate where that person is going to enter your space. You have to be close to them to act and take control. Distracting an active assailant by throwing objects at their face can buy you enough time to use physical force to take control of the weapon and bring the assailant to the ground. Separate the weapon from the assailant if possible. Place the weapon in an area away from the assailant. And never use the weapon against the assailant. The police may mistake you for the shooter. Use coordinated efforts when you can, but remember, not everyone will be able to act.
Let's recap some key takeaway points from this training.
Remember, being situationally aware can alert you to danger before it happens and can help save lives.
Sharing information with coworkers, public safety, or police about a situation that just doesn't look or feel right can alert others to possible danger.
Avoid an active assailant attack if you can. Get out and keep running until you are far enough away from the danger.
If you cannot avoid, confine yourself to a room by locking and barricading the door. Turn off the lights, keep quiet, and continue to plan.
As a last resort, you may have to fight for your life. Use distraction methods to help take down the attacker.
Once the scene is safe, if you are in a position to do so, render aid to those who are injured. EMS and medical staff may be overwhelmed.
You are your best first responder and your best chance for survival in an active assailant event, as long as you choose to act.